Cole Palmer. Is that purely just to protect the injury that he's got?
No, Cole this morning, he did a test to play this game. He was not 100%. He did a fantastic effort for the, for the club, for the teammates. He was not 100%. He was not 100%. He was not 100%.
Hey guys, this is Chelsea in my opinion. I just want to go back and discuss briefly on the game with against Man United. I know a lot of people want to blame Sanchez. Yes, Sanchez has some fault. I agree. I am not going to dispute the fact that Sanchez is not to blame. But I won't say Sanchez is the reason we lost that game. Yes, he should have done better. Agree, he should have done better. Probably he should have stayed back and maybe narrow the post and slow him down. Yes. But if you go back to that game and saw the way we were struggling, you would expect that a coach like MARESCA ought to have come out and say, hey guys, we're taking this thing too fast. Slow down this game. Let us catch our breath and move on with this game. But no, we kept on running, matching Man United pace for pace and run for run. We didn't have to do that. It was too early in the game for us to be doing that. Now, you look at how the tackle came about. When Chalobah went for that tackle, I expected Caicedo slowed down. Had Caicedo rushed at Mbomo before the tackle came, he would have been able to slow Mbomo down and allow others to cover up. But Caicedo too did not read the play. I'm not blaming. I don't think I'm blaming. I won't blame Sanchez at all for the tackle. I wouldn't blame him at all. Another problem I am seeing in that game was that MARESCA lost the plot. Forget about Sanchez's tackle. Let's leave the tackle aside. MARESCA lost the plot. One, MARESCA didn't need to make those changes he made. Agree, you need to bring in Jorgensen and a deputy keeper. We needed a keeper. But MARESCA, if you go back, and I played it earlier, if you go back to the interview after the game, MARESCA said it by himself that Palmer was not 100% fit. And when we were discussing the game in a separate chat, somebody was saying he didn't know, obviously he didn't know Palmer was going to get injured. And we thought, true, he didn't know. Like Eunice will always say, hindsight is always 20/20. But having listened to MARESCA after the game, and I listened to his post-match interview, I became more angry. I said, so if this man knew all this while that Palmer wasn't fit, how then did he remove Estevao and Neto? You didn't have to do that. Remove Palmer, who you already know wasn't fit. Then bring in Jorgensen. We didn't need Tosin in that game. If you want to make a defensive substitution, then remove Fofana. Fofana was struggling right through. Fofana didn't even need to start that game. From day one, MARESCA missed the boat. Now, he made those substitutions. That was what threw off our game. In less than 15 minutes, Palmer was already injured. And I believe too, Palmer got injured because of the running. He had too much runnings to make. Because he had to cover space. We have Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro is a natural number 10, even though we use him as the number 9. Now, you leave Estevao, you leave Neto. Let Pedro be in front and give Man United the pressure that we ought to give them, because they are a team in shambles. They are a team very low in morale, a team very low in confidence. We needed to exploit that. They are at home. They are the ones that will be under more pressure than we. But for MARESCA to remove the entire front line means that he had given up on the team. He had given up on our victory. He had given up on the plot. Apart from that, he made that mistake in the beginning. I said, okay, let's see how it goes. And I told somebody, I said, it's very possible that Man United, we get a red card and the game level up and then we are back in. And that's so said, so done. It happened at the 49th minute. That is 4 minutes into the time added on, which means we still have 5 more minutes to go. And what happened? Casemiro pulled down Andre Santos and a red card and the game leveled up. Even before that card, we were dominating. We came back into the game even before the card. We came back into the game, and that is one of the reasons why the card came. That is one of the reasons why the card came. Now we leveled up. You expect now MARESCA to attack in the second half. I saw Garnacho warming up. I said, okay, good. I saw MARESCA pointing and showing Garnacho something and talking to him and maybe tactical stuff. I said, okay, good. We go in there. Only for me to see somebody else, George and Malo Gusto. For what? George cannot give us what we need. George can come in when we have nobody else, but George cannot be our first option. I would rather we bring on Gittins than George. Second opportunity to fix the game. He didn't do it. So I don't understand why a lot of people are hounding Sanchez. I understand we need a scapegoat. I understand everybody has been frustrated about Sanchez. But guess what? Sanchez kept us in the Club World Cup. Sanchez has been keeping us in the league. All the games we have played from day one, from Crystal Palace, Brentford, and the rest, Sanchez has been the reason why we have not lost. Even this game, they would have considered a goal even before the tackle. Sanchez was the reason we didn't lose. You know, so everybody is looking at how Sanchez has been performing and what he has been doing all this while. But nobody is looking at how much improvement he has made. In the last 6-7 months, Sanchez has improved tremendously. Tremendously. And I keep saying it, that the reason why Sanchez was flopping was also on MARESCA. Because MARESCA is forcing players to do what they cannot do. The Premier League is a very fast league. Extremely quick. There is no time to play on the ball. Check everybody who are playing on the ball. They all struggle. Because no team is going to give you time and space to dwell on the ball. And each time we have problems, it's because of that. When MARESCA is threatening everybody, oh, I'm going to bench you if you play long. We didn't have to do that. At the Club World Cup, you saw Sanchez was taking initiative. And as soon as he sees the run of any of the players, really Gusto, he's unleashing the pass. And he's making the passes. And at the end of the day, that was what gave us the game. If we go back in time, you will also see that the game against Bayern Munich, is a carbon copy of the game against PSG. Watch the two misses that Doué had before we scored. The two misses, one, the pass that the back pass, the cutback that he made that Cucurella blocked, one, and the pass he made that Sanchez saved. That same time, watch it, you will see that it's exactly the same thing that Bayern did. Unfortunately, Bayern scored their 2 chances. PSG missed their 2 chances, but Bayern scored their 2 chances, and that was how we lost the initiative. Had PSG scored those 2 goals, those 2 chances in the Club World Cup, the story would have been different. I bet you we would not have won that game. These are things that have been there from the beginning that we are still not paying attention to. People need to understand that because we need a scapegoat doesn't mean that everybody want to pound Sanchez all the time. No, Sanchez is not our problem. Sanchez was not the problem on that day. MARESCA was the reason we lost that plot. And to listen to him at the end of the day to say Palmer has been going through different tests, different therapies, different training regimen, different assessments, and he has not been training at full capacity, but the player is good, the player says he can play. Who is supposed to say who to play? There is not even Levi Colwill. If you call Levi Colwill now to play, he will tell you he wants to play. Even though he's on crutches, he will tell you he wants to play. But you are the coach. You are the one who knows that this player is not fully fit. Everybody wants to play. This is professional football. They want to play. So what are you supposed to do? You just need to use your head and say, no, boy, you are not fit. Okay, agree. You want to start the player. If you want to start the player, why not use the 2? At least we know Estevao and Neto are on the pitch. They are fitter than Palmer. So if Estevao and Neto are on the pitch, then Palmer doesn't have to do too much runs. But at a point in time where you have to move somebody off, Palmer should be the best option. Knowing that MARESCA knew long before that Palmer was not fit. We were thinking, oh, he didn't know Palmer was going to be injured But to listen to his interview at the end of the day to say, oh, he's not fully fit, yet you left him in the game and removed 2 fit players who are quick, who are game changers. At the end of the day, then, when you remove all your forward players, that means you have lost the attacking initiative. You have given the initiative to the opposing player to settle down and play. No pressure. There is no pressure. So, guys, it's just my little opinion. If you have any contrary views, please feel free to share. And I ask that you click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share. I see you again. This is Chelsea in my opinion. Peace.